Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we're going to be taking a look at the best eShop deals under $10 or of course your local currency. Here I'll be breaking down eShops in the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now as always I do try to stick to 10 games, I nearly always fail, including this week. I actually have 18 for you, so not even remotely close. But this week I will say at least it's finally starting to calm down just a little bit, with us finding ourselves now at the tail end of the huge and near non-stop November and December sales. My bank account, absolutely grateful for it, that is for sure, but there's still some absolute gems out there that may be worth a look. So yeah, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family. We're so close now at this point to 20,000 subscribers. I think it's 80 to go, which is unbelievable. And yeah, let's get started. So before we do kick this off, if you fancy spending even more cash, do check out the Saturday edition from the weekend, because nearly every single deal there, it is still live and still available. Kicking us off then, an old one but a good one, The Final Station. It released back in 2017, and the idea, it's very similar to the movie Snowpiercer. You basically travel the dying world on a train while looking after your passengers, keeping that train, operational, and making sure you then reach that next location. Think side-scrolling shooting, crafting, locations to explore, and then even adding perks to level up, and yeah, that's kind of the idea wrapped up. Really like this one though, it's well loved, and this here is a new all-time low with 75% off. Speedrunners, another one with a new all-time low, 75% off again, super budget territory at this point, and it's just an absolute classic. It's a 2D on-foot racer. You simply just platform your way around to the very end of some seriously deadly levels. You'll basically be doing that while then planning how you can best slow down your opponents. It's simple but extremely addictive, and while it does have single player with AI controlled opponents, it's going to be best played local or online. Hopefully couch co-op can become a very real thing again in 2021, because this is one of the very best out there. So another old one, but Phantom Trigger, hack and slash roguelike with spells and puzzles and all that good stuff, but I want to start by saying it can also be brutally difficult as well. That's just me giving you a warning. The combat, it's great though, and fast paced, and the story just absolutely hooked me. You're basically just an average Joe, you're a guy by the name of Stan, typical middle class worker, and then boom, you collapse and you awake in a mysterious reality in a different body. Get out there, work out what happened, and then uncover one of the 4 different endings. This is a great price here, as I said, 75% off. I really don't think you can go wrong. Warsaw now, and this is, well, just think Darkest Dungeon. If you like that one, you'll most likely enjoy this. It's not as good, but it's still a very good spin on the idea. Transferring you here to a World War II setting, you must lead the resistance in 1944 Warsaw, so think squad management, turn-based combat, permadeath, and freedom over what your squad looks like. Really enjoyed it. The story's tone at points really does deliver on the idea, and 50% sub 10 bucks, I just don't think you can really go wrong. There's a lot of game here to find. Platformer fans, you should absolutely take a look now at Giana Sisters. It's a 2.5D platformer. It originally released back on the Wii U, but it absolutely deserved this second chance at success. Here your sister gets kidnapped. You need to get out there and basically save her from this mystical world. But what makes this one so unique, you essentially have 2 personalities. You've got Cute and then you've got Punk, and you can freely transfer between the 2. That's not just your appearance though, that does of course change, but the world around you as well, and it's a very cool mechanic which they actually use for progression. 80% off here, it's a huge discount, it's a great game, and it is well loved. Just check out the reviews out there, it's going to be hard to find a bad word against it. Perhaps one of the best deals this week then, Monster Hunter Rise did indeed get a free demo. It is live on the eShop right now, so do check that out if you are a fan of the series, or maybe you want to try it for the first time. I will be covering it here on the channel, but I just wanted to give you a heads up because it's been a long day waiting for it to finally show up. It's going to be available until the end of the month. The UK, EU and AU, they absolutely win this week, but maybe my favourite three from the region, it's got to be the Konami Anniversary Collections. Don't think I need to say too much on these, but they all offer 75% off, and we have the incredible Castlevania Anniversary Collection, the Contra Collection, and then the Arcade Classics Collection as well. The Arcade Classics one, that's bringing together 8 games, and that's everything from the arcade version of Castlevania, known here as Haunted Castle, to Twinbee, to Scramble, to Falcon Adventure. That is a Gradius 3. Take a look at the eShop on that one though to just get an idea of what is included. But what impressed me the most with these like individual collections, it's the included digital books that just have all sorts of like art and development notes. They're really nicely done, and I do think they're a true celebration of each series. First person shooter fans, last week we talked Duke Nukem. Let's talk his guest appearance this week with Bulletstorm, the Duke edition. It's back on sale, and this is a great first person shooter that still looks great to this day. Originally it released back in 2011. This edition, it basically throws Duke in as a playable character, and they even went back and recorded new dialogue. Doesn't always work or suit the scenario, but it still adds a lot of charm. It's a fun shooter though, with creative kills. The only issue you may find, or you may have an issue with at least, probably that's going to be no multiplayer and no gyro controls. Still a steal in my opinion though, with this 75% off. Puzzle fans then, Bridge Constructor Portal is on sale with 60% off. We do see this deal every so often. I quickly want to say, awesome game that combines, bridge construction, physics, experience puzzles with an incredible game to give it a sci-fi spin that I really never did think would work. The main reason I wanted to bring it up though and shout it out, it's because Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead Edition also received a permanent 33% price drop. It means it's bringing it forever under that $10 mark. Really good stuff. I reviewed it on the channel, and that combination of killing walkers and then surviving locations, surprisingly entertaining and absolutely challenging. RPG fans, been a little while since I mentioned this one, but The Longest 5 Minutes, really unique one that I hope sees future installments. Retro in looks but not in execution. The idea is this: you have amnesia, you are at the final boss moment, but now you must relive these 5-minute chunks of your adventure in the hope of basically repossessing your skill set. NIS America, they always bring us some of the more creative ideas on the eShop, that's for sure, and this is a fantastic example of just that. My personal pickup of the week then, I'm keeping things super cheap. Gunpig Firepower for Hire. It's 50% off. It's a sci-fi top-down twin-stick shooter, and when it released I did see some decent reviews out there and just basically never got around to picking it up. I always intended to just go day one with how cheap it was. I don't think it's the longest of experiences honestly, but it promises some good old high score chasing, so I'm going to give this one a shot. Also that old school kind of 3D vibe it has going on, the charm, it just absolutely works on me. Couple last UK, EU, AU exclusives then before we do get to the final couple of games of the week. First, Aegis Defenders, and I gotta say this game's pixel artwork absolutely stunning. The number of environments and the amount of detail they just pack in is incredible. The story, you're a team of ruin hunters and you're searching for a weapon to save your village. Perhaps most interestingly though, the gameplay, it's a combination of action platforming and then also tower defense. So it will start as you kind of clear and evaluate the area before putting you into that kind of strategic brain power kind of moment. 75% off, it's a new all-time low and an absolute bargain for what you get. This one also has a demo as well if you do want to try it before you buy. Then we also get SPINCH, Think Super Meat Boy Goes Psychedelic. I reviewed it on the channel. It had frame rate issues. I gave it a 6 out of 10, but it was patched up and they fixed the control issue along with that frame rate issue. So that's obviously great news and easily boosts that score somewhere close to honestly being just a great game. The visuals are stunning, the music another level. Just if you do come here, know like its influences, it's going to push your skills at points to the limit. It even just won a Canadian Games Award, so congrats to the team there. And 30% off, it's a nice little discount for a game that clearly had just tons of love poured into it. Streets of Rogue is back with 50% off, and we haven't seen this price since back in June. This has all sorts going on, honestly, but I would best describe it as a top-down twin-stick roguelite, trying to set itself apart from what is a crowded genre. It's set within basically a procedurally generated city where you'll be chasing after missions. What makes it so unique though, it's the freedom in the characters you play as, from someone who may be stealth to all-out crazy. You can basically come here and shape it very much to your own style. 50% off, it is the lowest we've ever seen though, and I think it's a really good spin on the concept. Our penultimate game of the week then, that is Butcher from the dev behind Carrion. It's an all-out fist-scroll side-scrolling platform shooter where there's basically just a whole lot of blood. You are a cyborg and you have just one simple mission: kill anything that moves and just eradicate the planet. The weapons are awesome, from guns to think even chainsaws, and the easiest mode here, it is hard. It embraces that kind of like, you know, Doom vibe of intensity, but if they just kind of throwing it into 2D. Last up for the week then, and this one's a little out there, but Necrosphere. I originally played this on my PS Vita. I thought it was great myself. I will say though, it also won't be for everyone, from the very simplistic graphics to the brutal level of challenge. Here we have a Metroidvania that's then kind of been mixed together with, think, Super Meat Boy or SPINCH from earlier in the video. Doesn't all work, but I died a lot and I just kept on going back, which always tells me I'm having a great time. Just be warned here, frustration, it's not maybe frustration, it's for sure guaranteed. And that's it. As I said, it was a smaller week. It was especially a good week though for more retro-like fans, think pixel experiences. Will you be adding anything to the library this week though yourself, or giving yourself a small break, because no doubt the eShop's gonna get back in full swing very, very soon. With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.